Hey folks, welcome back to the second match of the season. This is End All Be All here. Today's going to be a quick video. I didn't have a time to record my commentary live as I was doing my battles. So what I did was I recorded the commentary, I recorded the battles, and then I'm adding in commentary after the fact. So it's going to be a short video, but we'll try to get through this with as much detail as we can. Our opponent today is May 4th from RS Gold Squadron. 340k lifetime banners, and relatively heavier on offenses, on defense as well, about 30% I would say, defense to offense ratio. We've got an ultimate ray, so we might just see that on defense. Let's go ahead and take a look at the battles. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention is the roster. There's nothing much which really stands out in the roster, but there's one particular thing which I wanted to highlight is they've got their cup up to Relic 7, which is pretty interesting to see. I think we were exchanging messages back and forth. He said that he'd quit the game for a little while and he dumped all his resources into cup and then maxed him out and then left the game, and I think came back in again after a little while. So I was hoping to see cup on defense. Let's see if that happens. Alright, let's have a quick defensive review. I decided to go defense light this time and offense heavy, which is a little different from my playstyle, but just wanted to try it out. Kept a JKR gas squad in the front with Mon Mothma and Geos and Jedi Knight Luke over here, the Clash special with clones. And up top I kept Nude, Grievous and a low-level Sith team. But yeah, relatively light defense, not usually my style. So my defense got one shot, 1898. So it's an efficiency game. So since I decided to keep Rey on offense, I need to do the best that I can to try to get through the enemy with as many banners as I can. So 1898, it's all one shot. So it's about 55 banners per match. So I have to be pretty efficient. The toughest team down here is the Padme team, all mostly R7, and they've got C3PO in there as well, which makes Palp slightly trickier. But I got Basti in there because her Corrupted Battle Meditation prevents debuffs from landing to a certain extent. So I started off with Vader because I know that Vader under Palp lead usually gets turn meter, but unfortunately what ended up happening is because he crit, everyone ended up getting protection up, and very few debuffs landed, which means Vader didn't actually get to go first. And what ended up happening is Ahsoka just deleted my pal before I had a chance to move. So that was a little unfortunate. I should have probably used Thrawn to pass a turn meter over to IPD to dispel the debuffs and then try to land the shocks or fracture or stuns. That might have been a better approach. So here obviously I try to take out Annie first. He's the biggest threat on the team. And then with my Vader second round of Merciless, or actually the first round since I didn't get a chance to do it before, I try to take out whoever I can. The next target is obviously going to be Ahsoka since she's low on health. So try to take her down, stun Padme over here first, and then keep working on the others. Try to land a shock on GK, which didn't land, and he ended up clearing that. And now I'm just trying to work my way through it and try to take this team down and try to recover as many banners as I can, because I've already lost PAL, which means I've lost 3 banners. I can't afford to lose any more banners. So I'm trying to attack Padme, preventing her from doing any of her other assist abilities or the protection up, because that's going to make things more tougher for me. Yep, she wasn't able to prevent her healing, but things are still more or less under control. The debuffs obviously will not land as long as protection up is there, so that is one disadvantage. But when the fears expire, then the debuffs do land. So that's one thing which is at least having me get some amount of debuffs on GK and Ahsoka. And IPD over here is doing a really good job of trying to at least cleanse the stuff and enable me to apply to go around the taunt. As you can see over here, the protection is more or less recovered on all the teams, with a little bit left on Basti. Without Anakin, there's really no danger. There's no damage on this team, so I'm not really that bothered about the team trying to, one-shot somebody else like they did with Palp. Um, but still, it's best to finish it out as soon as I can. I do have everyone more or less fully healed up, so I'm trying to delay a little bit over here. Try to see if that little bit which is left on Basti can be recovered. And there, now we have full protection on Basti and the rest of them. So now it's just a quick job of cleaning it up and ending with 57 banners. With only the banners lost was only the 3 banners that we lost on Palp. Now the next team, Grievous team with BB-8. That's always a little tricky. I have kept my Jedi on defense, all of them, Jedi Knight Luke as well as Jedi Knight Revan. So I taken my sisters over here against Grievous, and this is always touch and go. And this Grievous was like 150 health or something like that, so quite damage dealing. And yeah, the whole team got to go like 8 to 10 turns before my team went. So here I heal up Daka because was a little low on health, and then tried to go after. I think I go after B2 Super Battle Droid over here to try to get him down as much as I can, at least to stun him and get some plague on him. That didn't land, so now I think I go ahead and try to land a Tenacity down on Grievous so that I can apply stuns on him. BB-8 is taunting, so I'll end up losing my sisters quite a few times, but what ends up happening is obviously my Daka ends up getting tons of health, so she becomes a little more survivable, and as long as Grievous does not target her, this ends up being a more or less reliable counter. Obviously, I want B2 Super Battle Droid out because the main danger that he has is he might end up putting buff immunity on my zombie, which means my zombie will end up not taunting. And then Grievous has a clear line to Daka. And unfortunately, what's happened over here is Zombie has got 2 stacks of that debuff on her, which means that she's not going to taunt anymore, which means Grievous is free to attack Daka. But luckily, as you can see over here, we did manage to get everyone back while Grievous is the last one remaining behind. So just do what we can, take out Grievous, 55 banners over there, and that battle is taken care of. So it requires a little bit of luck, but I needed all the teams that I could get because I didn't know what was at the back. And luckily we had weaker teams at the back, so nothing much to worry about. We should be able to one-shot the rest of the squads and get above 1900. That shouldn't be a problem. Now I'm trying to maximize my banners, try to get as close to 60 banners as possible because it is an efficiency game, and this is something which I'm unfamiliar with. I don't usually play it as much. But yeah, against this Hux team over here, the crew Hux team, I first get rid of Hux, given that he stops turn meter gain whenever he has advantage, and now I'm trying to get rid of the rest of them as soon as I can. The next fastest person is First Order Officer. Get rid of him and try to take out First Order Executioner as well. And the reason I got in Wampa over here is because Wampa has his healing immunity, which means that in case these guys, the rest of the rebels, get stuck on crew, which is very much possible, especially with C-3PO in there, Wampa's healing immunity on his AoE will allow these guys to punch through. So I've done it before quite a few times. I like to take in my Wampa with the CLS rebels to take care of these guys, both the crews. Kylo is not much of a problem, but as you can see over here, if I don't have Wampa in there, it's with all the debuffs that you go out, it's pretty difficult to get Kylo Ren crew under control and try to take him out, because he'll always keep getting healed up with all the buffs and debuffs that you're putting on him. Now, I wanted to save my Wampa for the Night Sister team or for the Rebels team down south, because that's something I really wanted. But as you can see over here, the Wampa did the perfect job. As long as he was stunned, the rest of the rebels weren't able to get anything done. But the moment he came out of stun, even without putting healing immunity, he was able to take care of the crew. No problem at all. Next, against the Night Sister team, I use a very popular counter, which is going to be crew with Watt. And instead of Fox, I taken my Sith trooper, given that he's more highly relic than my Fox. And so this is the most straightforward battle. There's really nothing much to worry about. Under crew lead, these guys get tons of buffs and debuffs, and they heal a lot. So they recover full health and foot protection with no problem. And with Watt there to top them off, there's really nothing much to worry about. Three of these sisters are relict, but it's really not much of a problem because they really can't get through crew, and it's not much of an issue. So here I'm debating whether to, yeah, I think what I do over here is I'm trying to get down Talzin, and as soon as Sith Trooper is able to take care of Talzin, we can ensure that no more revives will happen. It's a very reliable team to end with full health and full protection against even really good sisters. And I'm using my Sith Trooper to get as many kills as I can. And the moment I have it down to only Daka, I get 2 stacks on zombies so that I can farm the rest of the guys back to full health and full protection. And here I should have stunned Daka, but it's not much of an issue. Daka really doesn't have much damage. She can't really do anything much to the rest of these guys. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit, given that these guys will take some time to get through Daka. But the end result is a very reliable 60 banners. This is a team that I usually take Basti, Wampa, and Watt. They also have a very reliable way of recovering full health and full protection. But yeah, that's what I had with me at that time. All right, now I go in with so the final team over there. I still have my Rey on offense, and that was probably the toughest team remaining behind. So I decided to just take in my Rey with the heroes and Holdo just to recover some health on Rey towards the end. Rey could have probably soloed this. There's really not much of an issue. I've used my Rey to solo full DR teams as well with no issue at all. So it's not much of a problem for Rey, but I just took the others in because, as long as I one-shot everything, I'm already ahead on banners. So really there's no risk for me to risk anything at all. There's no reason for me to risk anything. So a pretty straightforward battle for Rey over here. I could have probably put it in auto as well, but I just wanted to make sure I recover full health at least on Rey so that I end with 61. And that's what I'm trying to do over here. I'm still saving the heal from Holdo. I'm trying to take out Nest so that I don't have to worry about her anymore. And then I'm trying to see if I can't at least give some damage on Newt. And here I use Whirlwind on Newt instead of the others because Whirlwind prevents revives. Unlike Kylo Ren, where any of his damage prevents revives, for Rey, it's only the Whirlwind which prevents revives. So I didn't want Newt to come back in again, which is why I used it on Newt, even though he was almost dead. And now you can see over here, Django is almost dead, which means I think now I just kill him off and then try to get it down to only Droideka, and then take him out then. So here I heal up Rey, enter into the ultimate mode so that no other damage can be done on my team. And now Droideka has got damage immunity, so unfortunately I just have to wait. And damage immunity is something which Rey can't, once she comes out of her ultimate, she really can't get through that. So I just have to wait for Droideka to take a turn, and then it should be easy enough to finish him off. So that's what I do over here. Last shot over here by Rey, and Droideka is down, 61 banners. Probably could have just soloed it, but that's fine. So I go through to the ships. I see Malevolence over there. So let me speed up the ship battle so you can see the final couple of zones. So I go in with my standard team of Y-Wing, Anakin, and Rex to start with. Rex offers great protection recovery against both Malevolence teams as well as GK teams, mirror matches. I find that having Rex in there right from the beginning helps to make sure that everyone is always topped off on protection. So here I was a little nervous because these guys were targeting my Anakin, but in the end it's all fine. The Y-wing takes the brunt of the damage, and they're able to get through this with no problem at all. So so that's the end of the battle. We end up with about 62 banners, which is not the best, but anything above 60 is fine for me. So we only need about 90 banners or so in the last couple of zones, which means 45 banners each. So as long as I one-shot them, it shouldn't be a problem. So what I do is against the Geos, I take in my Padme. This is a pretty straightforward battle again. Padme, not Padme, sorry, Treya. So Treya against Geos is a very, very hard counter, especially if you're equally matched in gear. And here, both the teams are G12, so not much of an issue. I think only GBA is G13. Spy is a real one that you really have to be careful about when you're considering damage on the Geo team. So I took in Savage. I probably didn't need to take him in there, but whether you go in with 4 or whether you go in with 2, it still counts as an undersized feat, and I don't really need the extra banners. All right, so this is a battle you guys must have seen plenty of times before, so nothing much to explain over here. Just take out Brood Alpha when you can, and then target Spy and take him down when you can, so that there's no more damage on the team, and then just pick the other guys out one by one. So not much of an issue. I take out Poggle also whenever I can, because Poggle has this unique which says that for every fallen ally, the others gain a little extra offense. So it's always good to take him out earlier just to prevent the others from hitting harder. So Spy first and then Poggle. That's my order. 58 banners there, so I just need about, I think, 35 or something like that to win. 33, something like that. So I decide to go for completing one of the feats that we have out there. And that's going to be the line of succession feat, which is having Qui-Gon Jinn with Kenobi, Anakin, and Ahsoka. Padme lead is the best way to complete this particular feat, just because you have the other 3 Jedi, Anakin, Snips, and Ben. They go really well with Padme. So just plugged in Qui-Gon Jinn over there, and this is sort of an overkill kind of a team, but yeah, that's I think this was the best opportunity for me to complete this feat, because I don't know who I'll be facing in the finals and whether I'll get a chance to do this or not, because there's just one more match to get this feat completed, and given that I have some room and I hadn't used my Padme team yet, got this thing done and taken care of. So in the end, this was a victory. We got, let's see, I think we got about 1924 banners, if I'm not mistaken, which means that we won by about, we got 1926 banners, which means we won by about 28 banners. So it was a comfortable victory, but I was a little out of my comfort zone because I'm not used to playing an efficiency game. And I was really nervous about dropping any battle at all, because that would have meant it would have made things more tougher for me on offense. So this probably might be the last time that I might do an efficiency game like that. Yeah. So we won our our second battle, and now we're on to the final match, which we have against Tyrael from NSC Gold. So this will be an interesting match. He's got an Ultimate Kylo and he's got JKL. I think the first opponent that I'm facing who has JKL fully R7. So it's going to be an interesting match. So join me in a couple of days when we face our final opponent. Till then, talk to you guys later. Take care and happy gaming.